I love Satan. Pretty fucking cool. And I hate my mother.
The story of Touch and Go Records begins in two places at once: the photocopied punk scene and the label it would spawn. And the two are so intertwined that you can't tell the story of one without the other. In 1979, Dave Stimson and fifth grade teacher Robert Vermeulen, better known as Tesco V, launched Touch and Go out of Lansing, Michigan. Inspired by LA's punk scene Slash and Danger House Records, and fueled by a hostile rejection of the bland late 70s FM landscape, their stapled Xerox fanzine was snotty, sarcastic, and completely obsessed with the chaos of early American hardcore. The visuals were often as caustic as the music they loved, cutouts from medical journals, smut mags, and crude, gleefully transgressive cartoons that Stimson and V assembled on the floor of V's Michigan apartment. Later issues feature early artwork from Brian Schroeder, aka Pusshead, including a mildly unflattering illustration of a long-haired Henry Rollins that reportedly soured relations between editor-in-chief V and the mercurial Rollins. From 1979 to 1983, its 22 issues documented an abrupt and seismic shift from punk to hardcore, with irreverent record reviews, say that 3 times fast, scene reports, and interviews, offering adulation for originality and scathing contempt for the status quo. Along the way, they launched volley after volley of unprovoked lampoons at rival publication Maximum Rock and Roll, and nearly trolled TSOL into an East versus West conflict. Captured a vivid snapshot of the era, featuring the Misfits, Bad Brains, Black Flag, Minor Threat, and countless others. The zine was also really the first publication to report on the nascent DC scene. In a pre-internet world, Touch and Go became a crucial hub for the Midwest punk network. Traded through the mail and in a handful of indie record shops, by 1981 the zine's energy spilled out into records, with small runs of releases from the Necros, Die Kreuzen, and Negative Approach, setting the stage for the label that would go on to redefine independent music.
Yes, it's great that they've established careers for a lot of bands. That's great. The significant thing is that they're doing it exactly the same way that they did when they started.
By 1983, Tesco V had lost interest in running the label, and having moved to DC, handed the reins to co-contributor and former Necros bassist Corey Rusk. Where the zine had thrived on snotty irreverence, Rusk brought a steady hand to the label and a vision for building something sustainable without sacrificing the label's outsider ethos. Rusk moved the operation to Detroit and later Chicago, where under his leadership, Touch and Go expanded beyond Midwest hardcore, signing artists that pushed punk's boundaries into noise rock, post-hardcore, and experimental territory. Big Black, the Jesus Lizard, Butthole Surfers, Killdozer, and Shellac would all call the label home, as well as indie luminaries like Slint, Penback, Silkworm, and Don Caballero, cementing its reputation as one of the most fearless and influential true independents in the country. Touch and Go's aesthetic was clear: earnest, uncompromising, and allergic to mainstream trends. And that attitude has always helped distinguish them from legacy labels masquerading behind recently purchased indie imprints. Operating out of the Midwest gave them a defiant autonomy, and Rusk's business model ideals were as radical as the music he released. Fair contracts, handshake agreements, and royalties paid on time, in an industry notorious for labyrinthine and duplicitous deals. Bands stuck around because they were treated like collaborators, not commodities. Artists departed at any time, and Touch and Go's open door policy ensured that many came back home after the post-Nirvana major label gold rush had dried up. This mix of creative freedom and mutual respect made Touch and Go a rare kind of label, one that could grow in size and scope without losing credibility in a scene that birthed it. Few labels have managed to serve as both tastemaker and moral compass for the underground, but Touch and Go, in parallel with Discord in DC and a small handful of contemporaries, demonstrated a viable model for reputational and financial solvency. From Xerox pages to a catalog stacked with landmark records, Touch and Go never lost the spirit of what made it special. And that's precisely why the emblem on the back of a record still means something.